I witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie z tej strony Korle i zapraszam na kolejną część przygód w grze Final Fantasy XVI. To tak, nie czekając, nie zwlekając, lecimy po kolejne zadania poboczne, bo tych jeszcze trochę mamy i warto by było temat nadrobić.
Sid. Just the man I was hoping to see. Did you have a mo?
Don't tell me. You need more bomb ash.
Oh no, we still got plenty of that left. I'm working on bringing another one of the Chief's designs to life. This time, it's a new smelter. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top for additional thermal amplification and a system of reciprocal recirculatory regenerators that let's just say it gets very blimmin' hot. A heck of a lot hotter than anything Blackthorn's got in his forge, that's for certain. Only mithril engines get hotter, and you can't chuck ore in one of them and get metal out the other end. Trouble is, we won't be able to make out of any old rubbish neither. We need the good stuff. And I hear you once helped Helena get her hands on exactly that. Any chance you could help me too?
If it's for the good of the hideaway, I'd be happy to.
Oh, it is. I promise you.
So, what exactly is this good stuff you need me to find?
We've got a couple of examples here. Spherical echoes, we call them.
More fallen materials. So this smelter is similar to the mithril engine in more ways than one.
That's right. They're a bit like the thermal helms. Fallen ceramics deal with heat like nothing else, see? And what's more, they're directional, transferring heat from the inside to the outside. But these things, they're all outside. If we line the hood with them, they'll reflect the heat right back into the furnace. We've collected as many as we can, and I know where we can get the rest. Trouble is, they're all watched over by their bigger, uglier cousins.
So you want me to visit some ruins, destroy some echoes, and bring back the spheres they're guarding?
That's it in a nutshell, yeah. We're only 3 short, mind, and we know exactly where they are. There's one up Amber Way, in that ruin that they call Lost Plume, and another in the Silent South, over in Dalmekia. Last one is in the ruins of Advent, which is in the Empire.
All right then. Wish me luck.
Will do. I'll be keeping all my fingers and toes crossed.
Nie powinno być to trudne, szczególnie, że zrobiłem listę materiałów potrzebnych na najlepszy miecz w grze, bo okazuje się, że ten miecz, który mogą nam wykuć, będzie już najlepszy, no to chcąc nie chcąc musimy wykonać trochę misji pobocznych. Nawet nie wiem, czy w sumie praktycznie nie wszystkie, bo nie wiem, z których może nam wypaść to coś, czego poszukujemy, ale no, nasze ścieżki się pokrywają. Misji pobocznych zrobiliśmy już ponad 50, tak już w pobliżu 60, a jest ich chyba łącznie z tego co wyczytałem 78, czyli by zostało nam już niewiele, bo około 18, ale jednak trochę jest. To oznacza mniej więcej tyle, że nie widzimy jeszcze wszystkich misji pobocznych, które się wyświetlą do końca gry. Ale co tam? Kuzyni, wbijamy. Ktoś chce walczyć? To może zejdźmy. Może odpalmy? Kurczę, 36 poziom. Trochę się rozwinęły, chociaż my z naszymi nowymi zabawkami no liczyłem, że zrobimy większe wrażenie. To kto na lody się pisze? Tu jest raz, dwa, no to wszyscy. Czy to działa? A wygląda jakby działało wokół nas. O! Ale mimo wszystko nie jest aż tak dobre, jak zakładałem. Albo oni nie są tak słabi, jak zakładałem. A to są kulki, to w sumie chyba nic nam nie dadzą. Posprzątane.
This is it. Right then. Just 2 more to find.
No pytanie, czy to tylko, czy to tylko. O, ale będziemy tu wracać. Pocieszający widok jest taki, że nasze misje znajdują się koło punktów szybkiej podróży, więc nie będzie tak źle. Lecimy w dalszą część świata. Może coś bliżej zamku, pokażcie nam. Tu... No i tu już nie jest tak miło, ale to my możemy spotkać się na bagnach. No nie da się tu spokojnie pochodzić. Siema upadli. Oj, nie, nie, nie. My to tu idziemy na walkę z czymś większym. Gdzie są obrońcy tego czegoś? A, już chyba widzimy. Kurczę, mógłby nam się jakiś legendarny trafić przy okazji. No cześć. Podnosimy tylko i lecimy. Nikt nie musi walczyć. No cóż. Przerażające jest to, że nawet ten przebudzony insekt jest w gruncie rzeczy dość silny. I co z naszej nowej zabawki? Miała być ponad wszystko. Co robisz? Będziemy mieli czas? Oj, nie wiem. No właśnie, mały problem. Masz lodem. Zobaczymy, jak na takiego dużego przeciwnika to podziała. Czy podziała? Fakt. Jo, jak do tego doszło? To trzeba przyznać, że moc ogłuszenia jest potężna. Może to się rozchodzi na wszystkich przeciwników w okolicy, jacy są. Tak, to trochę... To nam się prezentuje. Zaskoczyli mnie z tym. Co tu dostaliśmy? I... Oddawaj zdrowie, łobuzie. No i proszę bardzo, nawet bez jakiegoś specjalnego kombinowania 62 000 wpadły. Dobra, zniszczmy go. Aha, nim wybuchnie. Oby to było warte grzechu, chociaż nie zdziwiłbym się, jeżeli ten silnik, czy to coś, może nie silnik, ten piec byłby potrzebny, żeby wytworzyć właśnie ten mega miecz. No bo co innego mógłby nam zaoferować, chyba że jakiś mega pancerz. To też spoko. No dobra, Advent nam uciekł tutaj. Northridge, całun naszej koleżanki. Kurczę, i znowu nie po drodze. I znowu nie po drodze, ale to na jednej nodze z Northridge sobie polecimy. Tutaj. Mniej więcej kierunek znany. Zgubić się tylko można w tych lasach. I trafić na miejsce nie jest lekko. O, dzień dobry, czyli co? Chyba najgorsza ekipa to ta przed chwilą co była, tak? No cóż, wiemy, że tym ich nie zabijemy, ale... Też nie, 36 poziom działając, aż 34 damy radę. Czyli to ten poziom wpływa na to, że oni są tak potężni, a niekoniecznie to czym są, tak? Trafiło? A to ma ograniczony zasięg. No na co nam coś takiego? Na razie insekty. O, jeszcze gorzej. To coś zyskało tarczę? A ciekawe, czy te kule zniszczą. Nie poszło to w tę stronę, co myślałem, ale coś tam kule robią. Chodź. Szkoda na nich, bo trafić to też nie jest lekko. O, cześć. Aha, myślałem, że oszukamy system. Nie ma tak dobrze. Walcz do końca. To już ostatni, tak? Tak bez komentarza. Co jest, Torgal?
That's all of them. Owain can uncross his toes now.
I palce u nóg. Jakkolwiek by tego nie robił. Więc lecimy już chyba bezpośrednio do niego. No, cześć.
Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Very bad. Masz 3 sztuki.
Good, thankfully. Here.
Ah, that's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit 'em to the smelter right away! May I present to you the Telemon Furnace in Parishy?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
Dzięki za naciągnięcie torby, kolego. No to ile teraz tego zmieścimy wszystkiego? Ale więcej sławy nam się należy. Zwiększona torba. Czyli, no właśnie, 1, 2. Chociaż, kurczę, no my walczymy na tyle skutecznie, że raczej się nie przydaje, ale zawsze jakiś bonus. Bierzemy. Dziękuję. Lecimy. Poczekają inni na nas. O. 2 sztuki. 1 silna, 1... Tonik siły. Może to zachęci do częstszego użycia. Podwójne D. Ach, to taką torbę teraz mamy. Podwójne D. No niech będzie. Niech będzie. XXD inaczej. To co? Przyjmiemy jakiś system. Może misja tu z daleka. Byliśmy w Northridge i moglibyśmy skoczyć do naszej koleżanki. Przynajmniej kolejne misje będą gdzieś w zasięgu wzroku. Powinno nam się wygodniej biegać, czyścić to wszystko. I mam też odpowiedź na pytanie, czy misje poboczne mogą zniknąć. Część podobno tak, więc ogólnie zasada jest taka, że warto je robić w momencie, gdy się wyświetlą. Nie zostawiać nic na później, no bo później może już nie być później. I to by tłumaczyło tę misję handlarza tymi klejnotami na przykład. Co by zrobili, jakby zostawić sobie to na teraz? No nie byłoby już, bo nie byłoby sensu.
Oh, Clive, what am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrec. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrec. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
Kurczę, dla ciebie możemy go nawet zabić.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
Ciekawe, czy będziemy musieli mu w czymś pomóc, oczyścić las czy coś,
I may
żeby
have
mogli
met
się
this
tam
Duke
przenieść.
before, at the remembrance ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Czy tylko pogadamy, nastraszymy i lecimy dalej, zobaczyć, czego tu ludziom trzeba w okolicy.
As long as you remain.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. so that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose.
Czyli co,
Let's
nikogo
begin
nie
with those
będziemy
on
tu
the other side of
zabijać?
the wall.
A to moment, na drugą stronę murów, no właśnie, to my mamy takie szybsze podróże niż biegać tutaj po mule.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Pytanie, jak tego dokonać? Jakieś pomysły tutaj miejscowi? Czy sami go wypędzicie? Może podburzymy ich tymi rozmowami? To by było rozwiązanie.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
No to już wiemy, co trzeba damie powiedzieć. Rozpoczynamy bunt. Co najlepsze, możemy stanąć po stronie buntowników. Ona była pierwsza z misji.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Czyli bunt.
The people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
No kurczę, ale to by było piękne, jakbyśmy jeszcze przeciwko niemu tam żołnierzy zbuntowali. A z drugiej strony, jeżeli żołnierze byli u damy niedawno, to mogą też obrać jej stronę. Zaskakujące w sumie, że jej nie pasują tutaj panowie z wysokim żołdem. Ale cóż, no nie nam to oceniać. No może tej szlachetne, co tu zrobiła.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. But I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
No pięknie. Chcą tutaj naszych przedsiębiorców męczyć. Ciekawe, czy kolega byłby taki cwany, jakby to jego pieniądze mielibyśmy tutaj odebrać. Gile.
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but It seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
Czyli mówisz, że jeżeli stracisz żonę i dzieci, to nie będziesz po stronie
As
cesarza?
long as you remain,
Możemy coś na to zaradzić.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
Same problemy, ale ten Sabin to bym chętnie poznał. Chyba że ona już nas poznała, dlatego tak obrała trochę naszą stronę. Halo? Halo, gdzie jest nasz cel blisko?
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
To co, to tyle z buntu, czy to właśnie początek buntu? Udało się namówić całą ekipę, mamy większość. Chyba że dowiemy się dopiero później. Znów misja, która się podzieli na kilka części.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
Why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet, especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
Czyli rozumiem, że bunt odłożony w czasie, ale wszystko jest możliwe. Bardzo dobrze. Płacą nam za nic. Pochodziliśmy, pogadaliśmy, dostaliśmy fajne materiały. Znaczy prawie fajne, bo legendarnego miecza z tego nie będzie. No dobrze, tak jakbyśmy mieli... Wracaj, mapo. Mielibyśmy obgadać wszystko. Stały jeszcze 4 miejsca, a może zrobimy jakieś dłuższe spotkanie, a nuż pójdzie sprawnie, tylko dajcie nam lokalną mapę, tak żeby wylądować we właściwym punkcie i może tak, żeby w następnym odcinku ruszyć już na misje główne, bo wiem, że też wiele osób na nie czeka. Tylko na nie.
Clive, you'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
Z kim pogadać?
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
I tylko tyle? Iść, zapytać i wracać? Chociaż to jak zwykle nie może być takie proste.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
El? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randala and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best.
Oj tam.
To Randala then.
Myślałem, że innym razem pójdziemy. Ale skoro nie może czekać, no to cała naprzód. Te 500 metrów, nie wiem, raczej na drodze nic nam nie stanie, ale też nie będziemy przeciągać tym. Spotkamy się... O, tu taka fajna górka. Chciałem powiedzieć, że ucieszę się, jak zobaczę, że przybiegliśmy z wilkami, ale te sobie odpuściły akurat, jak na złość.
Thanks, girl.
No dobrze, pustynne róże.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randala.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But They deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just make sure he's safe.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.
Tutaj nie ma żadnych rzeczy blisko, ale no na szczęście to jest trochę lepiej. Z rozpadlin prosto. O, tylko musimy nie pomylić drogi. Tu chyba nie ma przejść. O kurczę. No dobra, i tak bliżej się nie da. Więc tędy wołać ptaka. Na prawo. Jesteśmy. Ciekawe, kto zakupił te towarzystwo. Się okaże, że jeszcze ten wujek Byron się postarał. Zrobił prezent, znaczy prezent. Trochę brutalnie to brzmi. No, chciał dobry uczynek zrobić, tak? Cześć, gobliny. Czemu robicie coś tutaj na dole? Rozmawialiśmy na ten temat życia i współżycia tutaj wszystkich. O! Jak na proste nogi zaskoczył. Idealnie. To tak, przestawmy się już od razu na płomienie i jesteśmy. I gdzie te problemy niby?
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area is flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me.
No i pozostaje mieć nadzieję, że nie zrobi z tego smoka akaszowego, tak to. O kurczę, kawał drogi. Ambrozja. Znaczy liczę, że dobrze biegniemy, tak? Tak, no nie ma lepszej opcji. Kawał drogi, szybciej nie będzie. Więc zobaczymy, co kolega wymyśli. O, ale to brzmi już, wygląda, jakby mogła Ambrozja lecieć dalej. Skoro my możemy biegać, to i ona może. Pytanie, czy Theo też się nam przemieni, czy jednak da radę wyjść z tego cało? Przemyślałem, że te misje niezwiązane z dodatkowymi bonusami będą krótsze, a tu się okazuje, że to chyba każda poboczna jest tak pisana na około 15 minut i chcąc nie chcąc, niespecjalnie to tu się gdzieś coś przyspieszy. Dzień dobry, ekipo. Bliżej, jeszcze bliżej. No i idę. Chyba niewiele ich zostało. Ha! Farciarz, over.
I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
Oberwał w ogóle tym? Shiv, a nie ta ręka. Dobra, ale to w sumie możemy go zmęczyć kulami. Nawet musielibyśmy, tak to. Pozostałe rzeczy zostawimy na później. Podobnie jak i tonik siły. Oj, jakby teraz zapamiętam, szkoda, że żaru nie mamy. Jakby był żar, to chętnie bym użył nawet ten tonik siły. Tak to chyba nie ma co kombinować. Dla samego rekordu chętnie bym użył ten tonik. No chodź tu. Dobra. Kurczę, muzyka jakbyśmy z bossem walczyli. Dobra, polecimy z tym. Giga błysk. To też traci życia. To też ładnie ogłusza czasem. O! Pięknie, końcówka gry, a ja dopiero się dowiaduję, że to są też słabe punkty, które lepiej uderzać. No i gotowe. Rozmiękczone, tylko problem jest taki, że za bardzo nie mamy jakim atakiem dobijać. To ten był chyba taki bardziej ogłuszający. Pomyliłem. Diaz tamten. No nic, Buenos Dias to w takim razie łogiń. Wszystko, co z tego wyciągniemy. Jest smoczytaniec. Dobra, dajesz żar, chociaż mógł wskoczyć chwilę szybciej. No cóż zrobić? Obrywa? Obrywa część. Oj. Jakoś tak strasznie marnie oberwał. Too slow. Too slow. Ale dostał za 2,5 prawie. I jeszcze tu podbródkowy od tej strony to, no właśnie, to ładne punkty to mu nabije. Kule standardowo. Te kule to nawet jak lata to nam pomagają dobrze. I pomyśleć, że kiedyś to był główny boss taki ten. Dobra, pokaż, bo my ten lód musimy przetestować, czy rzeczywiście on tak fajnie ogłusza. Tak, tak, to ten lód był taki. Pomyliłem moce, no cóż, bywa. Teraz się odkujemy. Mamy to. No i jest. Prawie legenda. Prawie legenda.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore! Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Elle. Theodore. Take care of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye, Elle.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own. To continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
skoro tak, ale istotniejsza kwestia jest tego typu, że no sytuacja pokazuje nam, iż Akasze mają jakieś tu też przemyślenia na temat tego, co się dzieje, uczucia i świadomość, co jest trochę przerażające, bo traktowaliśmy ich do tej pory jak zombie, a do końca tymi zombie to raczej nie są tutaj. No dobra, więc pozostałe 3 misje, które pewnie też nam zabiorą około godziny, zostawimy na kolejny odcinek. 3 misje poboczne pozostałe, a później wracamy do fabuły. A tymczasem dzięki za to, że jesteście, dzięki za to, że gramy razem. Grał z wami Korle, trzymajcie się, hej hej.